If you use Windows on a regular basis, you're probably all too used to Microsoft constantly advertising way overpriced products to you constantly. And thankfully, there's usually some open source program that's way better than whatever Microsoft is trying to sell you. And I know when we get these advertisements, we always long for the days of the 90s and 2000s when Microsoft didn't keep these important features behind a paywall. Right? Well, what if I told you all the way back in the Windows 95 days up to the Windows XP era, Microsoft had a little program called Microsoft Plus Editions. Essentially what this was a small expansion pack that gave you some neat desktop themes, screensavers, and some pretty cool quality of life programs to help your desktop experience. I mean, heck, like in Plus Editions 95, like we'll be focusing on in this video, gave people their first taste of Microsoft's new browser, Internet Explorer. And it came at a pretty big price too, at $49.99, which would be $103.03 in today's money. And to put that into perspective, a retail copy of Windows 95 back then would cost $209.95. And in today's money, that would equate to $432.82. So yeah, Microsoft was pretty greedy even back then. But enough of my rant on Microsoft, let's go ahead and jump right into the video and explore Microsoft Plus Editions for Windows 95. But before you guys do, remember to go ahead and like and subscribe, and let me know down in the comments below of any other video you guys would like to see me make in the future. But without further ado, let's jump right into Microsoft Plus Editions for Windows 95. Alright, so here we are with Windows 95. Sadly, this isn't the same install that I had on that Windows 95 video I did a few months back, because I did delete that to save on some storage space. But I reinstalled it here. None of the stuff that I had on that is on here. I did install the graphics drivers. Let's go over here to the control panel. I hope they're still on. They should be. TrueColor 24-bit. I mean, it's on. I don't know why that's purple, but who knows. But either way, what we need to do to install the Plus Editions for Windows 98 is we need to go to Computer. We need to go to our D drive where we have the CD installed, or the ISO for me, and just click on it. It'll bring up this prompt here, giving you the options to install Plus, Multimedia Catalog, or browse the CD. So what we're going to do is just go ahead and install Plus, and it'll bring up this prompt here. We're going to continue, okay, and we have to put in our CD key. So I'm going to have to skip this because I can't show you guys the CD key. Alright, so now that we put in the product key, it'll ask us where to install it. Obviously just on our C drive. It's going to search for installed components. Just going to do the typical install. Drive Space 3 will not be installed because there's already a newer version present. Okay, so yeah, this is the OSR 2 version of Windows 95, so it's already got an updated version of Drive Space. We'll look at it anyway, but we'll look at Drive Space anyway, but it won't be Drive Space 3. So we're just going to continue. System agent comes pre-configured to run on system maintenance task while you're not using your computer. Would you like? Yeah, why not? It's not going to affect us. This is on a virtual machine anyway. It's checking necessary. Alright, so now it's installing from our virtual CD-ROM. Alright, so it's almost finished here. I've never actually tried to install this, so I have like really no clue about how this install process really works, but the only knowledge I have about Microsoft Plus is through watching Michael MJD's channel about the series he did with this. This is like the only like things I know about this, so this will all be new for me. It'll be pretty cool to explore all the stuff that's on this. I do plan on looking at all the different versions of this because it will be pretty cool. Plus Setup now needs to install some Windows 95 components. Please have your we have to put in the CD-ROM for Windows 95. So let me go do that. Alright, so now that we have the Windows 95 CD-ROM installed, it's going to go ahead and scan for what it needs to put on here. We're going to go ahead and let it do that, and we will be right back whenever it's finished. Alright, so Setup will now open up the Desktop Themes window. That's right, in this they gave you like a sort of a theme engine, which is pretty cool. So here we go. Here's the Desktop Themes. We have Dangerous Creatures, 256 color, inside your computer. Oh yeah, that's right. You have to import it. It's interesting. It's pretty cool. You get to choose like what what it'll change, like your screensaver, sound effects, mouse pointers, desktop wallpaper, icons, colors, font names and styles, font and window sizes. It's pretty interesting. But we can look at all of these themes here in a minute, but we will go ahead. We're just going to go ahead and leave this at the default, and we will check these out after this installer. Alright, so now that the setup is finished, it wants us to go ahead and restart Windows, so we're going to go ahead and do that. As you can see, the Windows splash screen now has the Microsoft Plus logo down there, which is pretty cool. Alright, so I had to restart the emulator software because I was having a weird sound issue. So either way, we can now go to our control panel, go to desktop themes, and the first thing we'll look at are the new themes it adds. And first on the list is Dangerous Creatures. We have to import this. And it gives us a cool like background with the panther and some cool like creature icons and a different like window text and different boxes. It's pretty cool. So we'll just go ahead and apply that. And what it does, now we can minimize that. Now every time you click on something there's a sound, which is pretty cool. And I like this background, and this is only 256 colors. So that's the limit on this, apparently. But either way, this is a pretty cool little background. The next one is Inside Your Computer, which is a high color, meaning it can go up to 24-bit. And we can go ahead and apply that. And there we go. It takes a minute sometimes for everything to kind of load in. I think we're good now. There we go. Listen to these sounds. The font's kind of weird. I will say that. The font is a little weird. Other than that, it does change our cursor and all that. It will also change the shutdown and startup sounds too. So everything will be different in each of these themes. It's actually almost a better theme engine, if you think about it, than what Windows Vista and Windows 7 had. Because it did change a lot more things. Sadly, it didn't change the kind of boxes these were, though. But anyway, let me make sure that we are actually in high color here for this. Because I'm not sure if it just defaulted back to 256 colors or not. Okay, no, it is true 24-bit. Okay. So I wasn't sure if that just defaulted like back or not. But that's the Inside Your Computer theme. You have a nice wallpaper. Just literally being inside a computer from the 90s, which is pretty cool. Either way, Leonardo da Vinci is the next one. It kind of has like a medieval, not really a medieval, but more of an archaic theme from back in those days. Just pretty interesting. Kind of let it load in here. I don't know if I really like this theme though. It looks kind of weird. This is kind of like a weird beige color. See what the sounds are like. It's kind of like a piano sound. It's kind of interesting, I guess. I don't really, other than that, I really don't like the way this one looks. It's kind of weird. So we'll go ahead and move on to the more windows. Have that import. We'll apply that. I remember watching the MJD video about this, and I remember really liking this one. This one was pretty cool. I like the background for this one. The only thing I really don't like is this black highlighted thing for all of the shortcuts, but I guess that's because of the wallpaper. But you do have some interesting sounds with this. The fonts look kind of weird on the taskbar, so that probably shouldn't have been changed. But either way, that is the more Windows theme. We're going to go ahead and move on to the mystery. Go ahead and do that. So it loads that in. There we go. Oh, kind of has like a door creaking sound. I'm gonna have to turn up the audio in the editor to kind of have you guys be able to hear that, but it's definitely kind of interesting. But other than that, it looks pretty decent. The wallpaper looks pretty good. But other than that, we can just move on to the nature theme. We can go ahead and apply that. Let that load in. Yeah, each time the theme changes, the font gets weirder, like on the taskbar and all that. So I don't know if that's an issue with it or not, but this wallpaper definitely looked like it could have been put together in GIMP. But either way, let's see what the sounds are like. Open up Internet Explorer that we can't use. By the way, this does add Internet Explorer 1.0, but since this is the OSR 2 version of Windows 95, it already has Internet Explorer 3.0, so we won't be able to have that. But either way, this is an interesting theme. I mean, the windows look pretty cool. I guess I kind of like that, but other than that, it's okay. We'll move on to the science theme. And we will apply that. And here we go. It's just literally a science theme. The fonts look like they fit a lot better on the taskbar though with this one. Okay, I was gonna say I didn't really think that was supposed to be like that, but yeah, this theme actually looks pretty good. It has some interesting sounds. Open up our control panel here. Look at our system. This is pretty cool. I actually kind of would like this theme. This is a pretty cool theme. Recycle bin is like a jar here. Yeah, this is all pretty cool. So we'll go to the sports theme. Have that up. Gotta load that in. Okay, yeah, this is a weird looking theme. It has a surfer in the background there. It's either a surfer or a skier, I can't tell. Oh, wow. It's like a... sounds like a basketball. I can't really tell what that is, but it looks okay. It's another one of those themes that has the black, like, highlighted thing, which I don't know if I really like. I guess these sounds are okay. Okay. Yeah, that was kind of an odd one. So we'll go ahead and move on to the 60s theme. And this one is kind of what you would imagine. It is just overly colorful. It's probably the craziest font in this entire thing. So it has like a colorful background, and the sound effects are just like 60s themed, I guess. But yeah, this is the 60s theme. I don't know who would be using this though. It's a very odd theme. The Golden Era. We'll check that one out. I'm not really sure what this theme is. I'm not really sure what this theme's like about. We'll let the icons load up here. There we go. I'm not really sure what this theme's about. So it might be like about the 40s and 50s. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. I'm not sure really what it is about. But we'll go on to travel. And it's just the background of a subway. Kind of like a industrial era looking theme. Looks really like kind of dingy theme in a way. Has an older picture here of a subway, which is pretty cool. I'm not sure when this was taken, but yeah, it just is like an older kind of dingy travel theme. The sound effects are interesting, I guess, but either way, we'll move on from that. We will go to the final theme in this, which is the Windows 95. It's actually probably my favorite theme out of all of these, just because of the background here. This background is really cool. Even though it is just the Windows logo, this is what Windows 95's default wallpaper probably should have been. But as you can see, it has the Windows logo and all of the things. It has a better recycling bin thing. Still has your sounds. Cool. Just some different cool things. But either way, what we'll do is that since this is my favorite, I'm just going to leave this as the default thing for the rest of the video as we check out some of the other stuff. One thing about the themes that I didn't look at though was the screensavers. They added a few different screensavers for this, like the dangerous creatures, the I think the flying windows was already in here, so I don't think that's one of them. The inside of your computer is pretty cool. We can preview that. Wait. Oh, there we go. I don't know why it wouldn't let us preview that. Either way, you have like all the different ones here, which is pretty cool. Like this one's, it's like an interesting screensaver here. But you have like the science one, just like a little bubble going around your screen. It's not letting me preview this stuff. It's kind of odd. But either way, I think it's pretty cool. A lot of these are just simple wallpapers that do different things on your screen to keep, like, to save you from screen burn-in, like what would happen like back in the day. But yeah, these are just simple screensavers that you can choose. These aren't really anything special. They're just neat little additions that came with the different themes. One of the most popular things that it did add, though, was the first edition of 3D Space Cadet Pinball. But in this, it's named Space Cadet Table. But it's pretty much just the same thing. To be honest with you, I didn't play enough of this to know the controls. So I'm just smashing buttons here, trying to figure out what button to press. I have forgotten the controls for this game. So all of these sounds are pretty cool. I'm surprised this is running really good. Even though this is... isn't this like a 2D game that's made to look like a 3D game? That's what I've always thought this was. It's like this is just a 2D game. But... which, I mean, this is the same system that we ran in that video. And it did run Duke Nukem just fine. So, there should be no reason for it to not be able to run this. But, yeah, this is the first iteration of this. And it plays just as good as you would think it would. I didn't really play this game a whole lot as a kid, because, like, this was kind of already old by the time I got a computer, and it didn't come with Windows Vista. I don't think it did. At least it didn't come with my version. It might have came with Windows Vista, maybe like a different version, but I can see why this game was so addicting though. I've spent way too much time in this recording playing this game. But either way, that's 3D Space Cadet Pinball. I spent way too much time playing this, so let's go ahead and move on to something else. Alright, so another thing we're going to look at is the System Agent. This lets you schedule like different programs like to run whenever you want. Let's like open up a, let's browse for a program. Let's see, like let's open up Calculator. And what we'll do here is that we will have it start at 3:43 p.m. We'll just do it one time and hit OK. And yep, whenever it goes to 3:43, it opens up Calculator here, and that's pretty much what it does. And you can have it open up any program like daily or monthly, and it's pretty cool. It's actually a pretty cool little feature. I wish Windows had this today. I think it actually might, I just don't know about it, but Like, it would be pretty cool if you had something like this today. Now, unfortunately, the last two things to show off in this, I can't because for whatever reason it won't let me install it or even, like, run it. So, Drive Space 3 and a compression agent, which were two major features that came with it, which were later put in the OSR 2 release of Windows 95, for whatever reason, won't install on this machine for some reason. It keeps saying that, like, there's already a version of it installed, but I've looked through the files and everything, and it's just simply not there. So for whatever reason, it doesn't let me install it. But to kind of explain to you what it does is that it lets you compress a drive, and it's pretty much just a drive manager that lets you manage your drives, which is pretty cool. But other than that, since I can't use it, I can't really explain a whole lot about it, so we're just going to have to skip that. Alright, so thank you guys for watching my remake of this Windows 95 video. I know I made this pretty much unannounced. I just saw that I had this video that really got no views for absolutely no reason, and I thought it would be a great idea to go ahead and remake it, being said a lot of you guys probably haven't even seen it. I know this one was originally released on July 30th of last year, so it's been quite a while, and I really don't know why the algorithm didn't really pick up on it, but hey, maybe it will this time. But in terms of new projects, I am working on a Windows Vista video, which is pretty much just going to be me trying to explain that Windows Vista wasn't as bad as a lot of people thought it was, so stay tuned for that. I'm also still working on my Lego Batman video. I know I've been talking about it since last year, but trust me, I am still working on it, and it's not going to end up like the Mario Kart video. At least I hope not. But either way, I want to say a special thanks to my channel members on screen here. They are a massive help, and I greatly appreciate their support. And if you would like to become a member yourself and have your name put on the end of the screen like these folks, go ahead and hit the join button down below. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.